So hello and welcome back to my channel, and let's continue this video of the physical features of India where we're talking about in the previous video we talked about the state of Uttarakhand and we reached till the Darchula. So here we have the Darchula Pass. However, in the state of uh, Jammu and Kashmir, in the state of Ladakh and Himachal, there's also one more pass which is known as the Darcha. So this is the Darcha Pass over here, and here we have the Darchula Pass. So Darcha Pass is in Himachal Pradesh, whereas the Darchula is in Uttarakhand. So there was some news about this region as well. So as I told you earlier, there was a border dispute with Nepal for the regions of Dhura, Lipo Lake, and it was all because of the contentions for the origin of the Sharda or the Kali River. So this demarcation of the Nepal-India border was actually done by the Treaty of Sugauli, which was done in the 9th century by the Britishers. So it is basically based on the origin of the Kali River. So according to Nepal, Kali originates from Limpiadhura, whereas according to India, Kali originates from Kalapani. Therefore, India claims up to Lipule as a part of India. So this was this contentious issue about the India-Nepal border. Then moving on to the plains in the Indian mainland. So as we all know, this is the Gangetic Plain. So this area where there is Ganga river basin is known as the Gangetic Plain. So the parts of western Uttar Pradesh can be divided into two. Like the northern part is the Rohilkhand, whereas the southern part is the Ganga Yamuna Doab. So it's like the confluence of both Ganga as well as the Yamuna river. Then we have the Awadh region, where we also have the holy pilgrimage site of Ayodhya, so the Awadh region, and then the lower Ganga region in the states of Bihar and some parts of Jharkhand, the lower Ganga plain. Then the lower Ganga plain is also in the region of uh, Bengal. So this is where it is. So as you all know, Ganga actually bifurcates, and here there is a Hooghly river, and here we have the Farakka barrage. So the Brahmaputra plains. So the Brahmaputra basically enters into Assam from a place called Sadhya and then finally emerges out of Assam in a place called Dhubri. So these are the regions of the Brahmaputra plain. Then there have been some important locations over here in the region of Northeast. So first, as you all know, Namcha Barwa is the place where the Brahmaputra actually turns and then comes to India. So there's a place called Yong Yap where it first enters. This Yong Yap. Then Tunga Peak was also in news. Bumla was also a peak which was in news. Bumla is basically Bum Pass. Then Deepu Pass, Tawang in Arunachal Pradesh, and the Sela Tunnel. So these were the strategic locations which were in use. Bumla, Tonga, Yongyap, Tawang, Sela Tunnel, and so moving towards the state of Sikkim. In Sikkim, we have Nathula, and Jelipla. Jelipla. So these were in news. Then the Lonak Lake was in news, and the Zemu Glacier, where the Tista River originates, and we have the Changdong uh, National Park over here. Not Changdong, Changdong is over here. Just a little mistake. Kanchin Zengdong is over here. Changthong is in this region of Ladakh. So then we have the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. So the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats basically merge at the Nilgiris. We have some important peaks in the Western Ghats, which I've like told you from earlier times also. First is the Salar Peak in Maharashtra, then Kalsubai, Mahabaleshwar from where the river Krishna originates, then Coorg in Karnataka, and the Brahmagiri Hills, which is the origin of the Kaveri River. Then we have the in the Eastern Ghats, the major peaks are the Mahendragiri Hills, and then the we also have the Gandhi Kota Canyon, which is in the Peneru River. We have the BR Hills, BR Ranjan Hills, and the Dota Beta. So the highest peak of uh, this area is Anaimudi, which is in the Anamalai Hills. So let's talk about some of the news over here. So Doklam was in news because this is a plateau between Bhutan and China, not in Indian territory. This is in Bhutan territories. So in Doklam we have the Chumbi Valley, and China wanted to and still wants to occupy this area. There was the Indo-China standoff in the year 2017. In Gujarat, we have the Sur Creek Line. This is basically disputed with Pakistan. India wants border in the center of the creek, whereas Pakistan says that the eastern bank should be the boundary. The entire creek, if this happens, would go to Pakistan then, because Pakistan is actually claiming the entire bank should to be the boundary, whereas India wants the center of the creek to be the boundary. And it is so contentious and it is so valuable because it is rich in fisheries, petroleum, and natural gas. So this is the Sir Creek, and Pakistan actually wants this whole eastern boundary to be Pakistan's area, whereas India wants it to be somewhere between the center, so that both of them have fair claims towards the fisheries, reserves, and petroleums in that area. So this is in Gujarat. So this island Kachachtivu, which was in news. So it is in Sri Lanka. It is an uninhabited island, and it was ceded to Sri Lanka with the condition that it would allow the Indian fishermen over there. It was ceded with usage rights, which are now hampered, and this is why it was in use. So usage rights were there that the Indian fishermen could go and have the fishing rights. Then we've read about the Coco Islands in a previous video where we discussed about the location of the Coco Islands with the Andaman Islands. Coco Islands are a territory of Myanmar, which I told was the north of Andaman. There have been increased Myanmar military presence over there. This is why this was in news, the Coco Island. So this over here. This is the Coco Island towards the north of Andaman. So let's see about the coast of India. So we have this western coast as well as the eastern coast. So let's talk about the western coast first. So here there are many water bodies. First is the Gulf of Kutch. Then this area is the Gulf of Kutch. Then the Gulf of Khambat. Then this is the Gulf of Mannar. We also have the Mandir National Park over here and the Gulf of Mannar Biosphere Reserve. Then this is the Park Bay and the Park Strait. Similarly, we have, as we all know, this we have the Bay of Bengal over here and the Arabian Sea over here. And towards the south, we have the Indian Ocean. So, the coast. This area is the Kathiawar coast. This is the Kathiawar coast, right till here, covering the parts of Gujarat. Then the Konkan coast, covering Maharashtra as well as Goa. And then we have the Malabar coast, covering parts of Karnataka and Kerala. So in the coast, we have in the western coast, basically in the Konkan coast, we have Angria Bank, Malvan, and Netrani Islands, Karwai, Saint Martin Islands. Saint Martin Islands were basically in use because of the columnar basaltic rocks over here. And these are also the areas where we could find the corals. So these are rich in corals. Angria Bank, Malvan, Netrani Islands. So over here in the Malabar coast, we have the city of Kozhikode, which was in news recently because it is India's first city of literature. And the Malabar coast is known for kayals, the backwater, the kayals. Then we have the Veg Bank in the coast of Tamil Nadu. So it is known for pearl fishing, and there have been protests over oil exploration in the Wedge Bank. So this is also in the Tamil Nadu coast. Then we have the so moving towards the eastern coast. So the eastern coast is divided as so from this area from Bengal to Odisha, we have the Utkal coast. So you might have heard the national anthem, which is the Janganman, and there is a line that Dravid Utkal Banga. So this is the Utkal. Then here from Andhra Pradesh towards the middle of the Andhra Pradesh, we have the Northern Sarkar. Within Northern Sarkar, we have Jindagada, which was also in news, which is in Andhra Pradesh. So from the middle of Andhra Pradesh till the Pamban Islands, we have the Coromandel Coast. So this is the Coromandel Coast, and one of the major thing is the Pamban Island. So recently it was in news because there was the inauguration of the vertical lift railway sea bridge. So it is a very scenic route, and if you ever get a chance, please do visit it. You might have seen the Pamban bridge, the earlier Pamban bridge in the movie Chennai Express, and it basically connects Indian mainland towards the city of Ramanathapuram or the holy pilgrimage of Rameshwaram. And there's also the last island of India, which is Dhanushkodi, from where it is said that the Ram Setu was made till Lanka, till Sri Lanka, the now Sri Lanka. So Dhanushkodi is also there. Then Kachativu Island, we have read about it, and the Park Strait as well. So here there is one lake which is known as the Pulicat Lake. Uh, this is also in news, and uh, like closer to Pulicat Lake, there is Sriharikota Island, which is also in Andhra Pradesh. This is the launching site of ISRO. So here in Utkal Coast, we have Chandipur. There was a PYQ on Chandipur, so do give it a look. And the Gangasagar Islands was in news. So the Gangasagar Islands are in West Bengal, and it is famous for the Makar Sankranti festival. And it is said that after completing all the pilgrimages, after completing all the four major pilgrimages for the Char Dham Yatra, you have to come to Gangasagar and pay your reverence. Then there is Abdul Kalam Island in the Odisha coast, which was formerly called as the Wheeler Island, and DRDO Missile Testing Center is over here. Then there is New Moor Island, which is uninhabited. There are this is rich for the petroleum reserves, and there have been some contentions between India and Pakistan, and this actually emerged after the 1970 cyclone. So the Permanent Court of Arbitration basically gave a verdict in favor of Bangladesh. So this, according to the Permanent Court of Arbitration, should belong to Bangladesh, but there have been some contentions, and basically because of it being rich in petroleum reserves and also claiming the territory of both of the countries. So this was also news. So moving on to the sheet. So here in Himachal Pradesh, there is a Lahaul Spiti Valley and the Cold Desert Biosphere Reserve, as we have read earlier. Then the Himalayan ranges. So in the mountain ranges, we have covered all the major mountains of this range, but we are left with the mountain ranges, so which are in the Himalayas. So in Himalayas, the order is first there is Karakoram, then Ladakh, then Zaskar, then Pir Panjal. So here we have the Karakoram range, then Ladakh, then Zanskar, then Pir Panjal. So this is the order: Karakoram, Ladakh, Zanskar, then Pir Panjal. So in the Karakoram range, which extends from Pamir North to Pangongso, remains filled with glaciers, and Mount K2, also called as Mount Godwin Austen, is in the Karakoram range. In Leh, Leh is basically in the Ladakh range, and India's first analog space mission was launched over here. In Ladakh range, we also have the Rakaposhi Peak, which is the steepest one. Then in Zaskar is basically known as the land of white copper. We have Somoriri, which is a Ramsar site, And the Amis National Park is the India's largest national park. Then the Changthang Plateau, which is inhabited by the Changpa community. And there's also Changthang Fort, which is known for Pashmina. So we're left with a desert area. So as you might know, this region right over here is the Great Indian Desert, or known as the Thar Desert. So this is also called as Marusthali, and right next to it we have the Bazar region, which is semi-arid. Then moving on towards the uh, islands of Lakshadweep. So Lakshadweep basically has two types of islands. So like the first group is the Amindivi Islands, the other group is the Kannauр Islands. So the Kannauр Islands are basically separated from Minicoy by the 8-degree channel, and after that we have the by the 9 degree channel actually. So the Kannauр are separated from Minicoy by the 9th degree channel, and after that we have the 8-degree channels, and below that we have the we have the country of Mauritius and some other island nations as our neighbors. So with this we have come to an end to our discussion on the physical features of India and the important strategic locations which were in news. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, see ya, bye, and thank you for watching.